This message comes from Capital One. With the Spark Cash Plus card from Capital One, you earn unlimited 2% cash back on every purchase and get big purchasing power so your business can spend more and earn more. Stephen, Brandon, and Bruno, the business owners of SandCloud, reinvested their 2% cash back to help build the company's retail presence. Capital One, what's in your wallet? Find out more at CapitalOne.com/SparkCashPlus. Terms apply.
They say it takes an elusive magic for a television show to reach legendary status. The right script and actors and crew and director and producers and time and audience all have to be just right for a show to transcend mere craft. But when it happens, it's an extraordinarily special thing. And what could have been a simple television show becomes a cultural phenomenon. And what's even more incredible is when a show goes beyond entering the pop culture zeitgeist and becomes a full-on brand. And not just a small little brand, a behemoth of a brand. A brand that is instantly recognizable on its own, but has also become known as a vehicle for other brands. And not just other small brands, other giant brands. And then all of those giant brands collaborate with the first brand to create completely new versions of their own brands, which engages customers and fans of both brands to generate immeasurable amounts of advertisement value, social media impressions, and an ungodly amount of money, turning everything that we know about branding upside down. And that's why this week's On Brand is on Stranger Things.
We're all jazzed up, really having a cow. You want your favorite show and it's on right now. It's on brand.
Welcome to On Brand with Jon and Marisa.
I'm Jon.
I'm Marisa.
Okay. Things are getting flipped up. Oh, I have a prop for the back.
Oh.
A little Demogorgon Crunch. A little Chips Ahoy from the down under, from the underside.
Fire up
from
the company
upside.
card.
We'll eat those in a little bit.
Fine.
Yeah. So here we are, Stranger Things. Did you have any idea?
You say shows. I was like, Friends.
Friends, that's so
The Simpsons.
yawn. Oh, I mean, come on. Is it still on?
Snooze a minute. Oh my gosh. This is a big, I want to say it's a big brand for you. I was really into it in the beginning, and I fell off, as I fear maybe some people have.
Well, a lot of people have not. I've been rewatching it, so I've been binging it to get ready for the show. I did not get through it all. I got through 3.5 seasons.
You're only eating Eggo waffles to channel your inner 11.
The branding, I am coining a new term and maybe new merch.
Love it.
This whole last 2 weeks, I've had a brandgasm.
Oh,
it is like brands coming out of every nook and cranny
you
of
need to see a doctor for that, honey.
I gotta see it. It's either Brandpalooza or Brandgasm. But I think Brandgasm. I think a Brandgasm is when a brand does something that I like, or I hear about a new collab, or I just saw that Heinz is doing squeezable gravy. I'm like,
Yes, Brandgasm is evokes the same feel, the explosiveness of the collab.
It's what a normal person would feel when they're touching tenders with their lovely.
Touching tenders with their lovely merch. Bumper sticker. I'd rather be touching tenders with my lovely.
With my lovely.
Oh yeah. That's how you feel when you see Heinz has squeezable gravy. Great. I love it. Sold out.
By the way, that was going to be a brand news I was going to throw in. I looked at it right before.
To me, though, those I think are fake. I think they say that they're sold out, and I don't think a bottle has ever existed.
That's probably true, like the KFC fire log.
Yes, I think it's fake. I think they AI generate an image, and then they put it on the website, and they say sold out. And then you're like, I missed out on the squeezable gravy.
I want it only available at Walmart, only $1.88, only made 8 bottles.
It's a scam.
I mean, I guess I could put any gravy into a squeezable container.
Sure. Wash out an old ketchup bottle Doctor up your own label in Canva.
Smuggle Thanksgiving gravy, like during the meal. I'm going to go refresh the gravy boat, but I'm actually just pouring it into my bottle.
You're a gravy guy.
I am the gravy guy.
Do you ever put gravy in a one of those Camelbacks with the little straw that goes over your shoulder in case you need a little sip during the meal?
I'm not that gravy guy, but I am the gravy guy. And a lot of, like, I wouldn't have even liked the Heinz gravy. I don't think, like, shelf gravy is good.
It's not the same, yeah.
And what other gravy is not good, but it is my default gravy, is sometime next week before Thursday, I will stop at a KFC and I'll get two, like, they're not that big, 2 containers of gravy, so that when I have my Thanksgiving leftovers, I will have that brown gravy.
I like KFC gravy too, and it's not... It's
not good.
It's thick, salty water.
It's thick, brown, salty water. It's like water that has...
Is that like what you have to drink for colonoscopy prep? Because I hear it described as like thick, salty water, and I think that's KFC gravy. Does it have flecks of pepper?
It does.
Okay,
and it
here
comes
we go.
in a bucket.
Honestly, I feel like if you ate the same quantity of KFC gravy as you're required to do for colonoscopy prep, it would do the same thing, and it would taste better. Like, let me have that.
Fun KFC gravy fact. Last time I got KFC gravy, and you're probably thinking, oh, that was probably like last March or like around Easter or something.
Sure,
no,
yeah.
a week and a half ago when I stopped to get just to have some gravy. I was going through
You like to have a little gravy at home.
Yeah, because I was having a turkey moment, like a sliced turkey moment, and I can have some gravy. And I was making mashed potatoes. So I grabbed some gravy. Yeah. Ordered one. The bag was really heavy. Got home, there was 2.
Oh.
2 for the price of one.
Like those little half pint kind of
The
things?
one that's like twice as big as that.
Okay.
It's like that thick.
How long does that last you in the Glover household?
I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know. I don't know I feel like shelf life on fast food, I know we joke like there's people that have like a McDonald's cheeseburger in their closet from like 1974
and it
looks the exact same.
Yeah.
But I don't think, for some reason, they don't have a super long edible shelf life.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
They'll live forever, but they're not.
You won't enjoy it.
Yeah.
In some cases, it's like 20 minutes.
Yeah, I think that's In-N-Out fries.
Sure.
It's 20 minutes.
I feel like the KFC gravy, because it's still styrofoam.
No, and now it's a black plastic.
Black plastic. Bringing it to my lips and taking a little swig. You ever bring it to your lips, take a little swig of that gravy?
I'm sorry.
Do you ever bring it to your lips and take a little swig?
This feels like a Freaky Friday episode of On Brand. In the last 5 minutes, we have switched bodies. That sounds like something I would do. I don't know that I've ever...
I have a memory because when I would eat the gravy, I still am a vegetarian. Sure, I've had a burger in the past week, but still I'm a vegetarian. I would get the styrofoam gravy, and I remember the mashed potatoes, so textureless, so silky,
so smooth, but not in a good way.
No,
like in a paste way,
pasty. But I loved powdered potatoes as a kid, so this was like it was so
well,
up my alley.
That's your heaven, then. It's
my heaven. Like the gravy is empty, and like you have a sense memory of licking a container. I know licking the styrofoam container of the gravy.
I have for sure stuck my face in
your face in like a muzzle.
Like a muzzle, and you get a ring around your whole mouth. I would rather do that than swipe my finger.
I'm not swiping my finger. Were there a few times you accidentally like came into a meeting at work and you had a big brown ring around your mouth and they said like gravy?
Yeah. That's why they call me Gary Gravy Ring. And I was like, my name's not even Gary. And they're like, yeah, but it's funny, Gary. Yeah, so that was a fun surprise. I got 2 gravies. And then I keep forgetting to bring this most boring story up.
We love your boring stories.
I may as well share it. So I use this hair product called like Rudy's Matte Pomade. I used to get it at the Rudy's Barbershop. They closed. The new place, for some reason, still sells it. Somehow they're related. It was like $28. Kind of expensive for a pomade, but it lasts a long time. It has since gone up to $40, and they don't even have it in the store. And then I was running out, but I'm a creature of habit. Obviously, Is
this story ending with you using gravy as pomade? How are you going to connect... You didn't have the pomade and you have 2 things of gravy?
That's why every time I come over here, there's like a trail of alley cats following me.
Yeah, I was wondering about that. I saw Flattened Crow yesterday. Ruined my afternoon.
Babe. Actually, that's kind of perfect for a Stranger Things episode. An ominous flattened crow.
It's not a bird you want to see flattened. It feels very ominous. Okay.
If anything, that crow would be, I had finally befriended a crow. I've spent years befriending a crow. Totally. He goes out to get me my first little gift and gets flattened.
There was a gold pocket watch in its mouth, and it was pointing towards your house.
No, No, you're supposed to say there was a pint of KFC
There
gravy
was a pint, but
right next to him.
sure. Yeah,
I
that's
know,
fair.
they like shiny things, but...
So you're out of pomade.
So I'm out of pomade. I have to get it. I look at... Rudy's has a online store on Amazon. Of course they do. So I was like, fine, I'll get it there. Still $39 on there. But if you like bought like one of their, of course, like a bundle where you got like 2 other full-size products, like a shampoo and
Things
like...
you don't need or care
Things
about.
I don't need or care about. Then it was only like $11 more.
Ooh, this is going to be tough for somebody with your specific type of disease.
Yeah, so it was like $51 to buy the bundle. 2 things I might use, but definitely don't have to have.
Sure. Spending more for things you don't want.
To get the thing I want cheaper is very on brand for me.
Yes, I agree.
So I did it. I did the bundle, and then it came.
Bundle bitch.
Merch. John's a bundle bitch.
You are a bundle bitch.
So then it came, and I didn't open it. I just set it in the bathroom or whatever. And then a couple days later, it came again. That's what she said.
Wow, you got double doozied?
So I'm like, what happened? I was like, oh, maybe because it's like different products. They send them at different, like, coming from different warehouses, whatever. You never know. So I eventually get around to opening them. One of them is the 2 things I don't need. And then the other one is really heavy. And I open it up, and it's a box. They accidentally pulled and shipped a box of the pomades instead of 1 pomade.
Like a case of them?
I got 4 of them.
Oh.
4 $40 pomade. I know, I just got goosebumps.
This is $200 worth of pomade.
According to my math, that's $380 of pomade.
Oh my gosh.
Handed to me. And I'm not even done with the one that was going low. So I still have 4 unopened pomades.
I'm not going to project your longevity, but this is a lifetime supply.
What?
I don't know. It seems like it
Lasts
lasts a
about a
long
year.
time. Oh, I thought it lasted longer.
I should start doing the brands I really like and make sure that I get those.
Pomade is one of those things where I feel like you'll be like, oh gosh, this little tub is $30, but then it's like, oh, you actually use the size of a newborn's fingernail.
Yeah, I use like such a slight, except my hair is so long right now. Once I get right now I'm using, I'm probably using less than the size of a cotton candy grape. Probably half of a cotton candy grape.
Okay, a blueberry?
Those jumbo.
But not a jumbo blueberry?
Not a jumbo, well.
A large blueberry in the regular blueberry pack.
A raspberry that's not fully developed.
Okay, great. Got it. Perfect. Perfect point of reference. We are all on the same page. That is not a boring story.
Someone's on break right now like, man, I really could use a fruit salad. These bitches want me to eat fruit.
We're paid off by Big Berry.
Big Berry. That'd be fun if we had a listener named Big Berry.
That would be fun. If your name is Barry and people call you Big Berry, send us a letter.
Send me a DM. She won't reply to you. Just send it to me and I will
John's
say
in
hi.
bed.
At Arizona State University, we've made online education better, smarter, and more personalized so you can go further in your aspiring field.
I decided to pursue medicine once I realized that ASU did have the online program for biological sciences. You're still required to learn the same curriculum. You're still being tested on the same content that anyone would be tested on in person. The comprehensiveness of the program prepared me so well for medical school.
Explore over 350 plus programs at asuonline.asu.edu.
Well, why don't we get into the show then? So, Stranger Things. 1, you're right. It is on brand for me. I forgot. Here's the what is it?
The crab.
The rant about Stranger Things. The final season started yesterday from when this comes out.
Sure.
So it's
quite timely.
Wait, happy Thanksgiving.
This episode comes out on Thanksgiving?
This episode comes out on Thanksgiving Day. That gravy was very on brand.
Oh, great. Okay.
Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Of course, that's top of mind.
Sure.
Everyone's like sweating with their turkey. They're like, when are they going to get to Stranger Things?
I know. How funny. And it's kind of a spooky brand, but they didn't come out on Halloween. It came out the week before Thanksgiving. So this is a very timely drop.
No, it comes out the day before it comes out the day before Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
It comes out next Wednesday.
The new Stranger Things season,
yes.
you mean? Yes.
The final season starts next Wednesday.
So you're gathered around with grandma and your little cousins and you're firing up the TV. Clicking over to Netflix. See what old so-and-so's up to. Will
is up to. Will. Oh, Marissa and I, side note, twice our little group of friends did a Christmas folly show for each other where we all wrote sketches and performed them in front of each other. There was 5 of us there.
So sometimes there would be 4 people in the sketch, 1 person in the audience, 2 people in the sketch, 3 people that you get it.
Sometimes a monologue.
Sure, yeah.
Was that our first folly?
This was the second follies,
Our
yeah.
second folly, we went to a snowy cabin for a weekend or for a night.
It was only 24 hours, and we saw snow. We went snowshoeing.
We saw like the world's oldest tree.
We saw the world's oldest tree.
Or one very old.
We brought a lot of props, and we wrote a sketch that we performed for our 3 other friends.
Marisa and I did. We did a Stranger Things sketch. She played the part of Winona Ryder, the mom looking for her son Will. I played the Christmas lights and Will. I was off stage. I would make the lights flicker. It was a lot of fun.
I really felt proud of my Will.
So it's ingrained in us. That's how long ago this was. So
Sure.
They're starting their final season. If you don't know what Stranger Things is, in a nutshell, it's a Netflix show that came out in 2016, same year that TikTok was founded. Thank you, Imperium Shaving, for keeping our timeline up to date. It's about a group of like young kids in the 80s. They live in a small town called Hawkins, Indiana. There is a gateway at this town.
Is Indiana a real state? I've never met anybody from there, but I sure see it mentioned a lot in movies and TV. I think it's a state that only exists for horror movies.
So if you were me right now, you would say, now, you may disagree with me, but dare I say that Indiana is the 555 of states.
I love that.
Only for motion picture
Only
and
for
television.
motion picture and television.
Yeah. No, it's real.
Are you sure? Have you ever met anybody from Indiana?
I've never been there. And when I was
I challenge everybody to pull out a map. Look for the state of Indiana. Interesting. It's not there. Has anybody bothered to do this before? Not surprised.
You're trying to make your own Berenstain Bears?
Yes.
Well, true or not, this show takes place in Hawkins, Indiana. And in this town, there's like a gateway between like another world that is very evil and the world of the 80s. It's very, very 80s centric. It has all the tropes of an 80s movie. There's a young girl with psychokinetic abilities. You have a boy that was kidnapped. You have worried parents. You have a high school with bullies, nerds, and a heartthrob. You have house parties, unsung heroes, romance. It's got it all. It's a freaking good show.
Yes.
I forgot how good it was until I started rewatching it. Season 1 is like
phenomenal.
So good.
And I think at that time, the angle, and maybe we're biased because we love 80s stuff. And
I thought you were going to say because we're in the industry.
Because we're in the industry. Well, we're 80s babies, you and me.
Right.
But the aesthetic of I remember just even the poster, how it looked like those 80s movie posters.
We'll get there.
I'm sure we're going to get into it, but everything about it
the
felt like...
The posters were very much, everything was... It's kind of like I was talking about when I did Jellycat. Like, I feel like that they figured out some formula that equals cute. Stranger Things figured out the formula that equals 80s nostalgia more than just like, oh man, that makes me like... They tried to do it in a way that when you're watching the show, they were literally trying to give you the feeling that you had when you watched a movie in the 80s.
Yes.
So it's like, and I think why I wanted to do this show so much, because it is a Brandgasm, is the more I started to think about it, one, I just thought it would be fun to do something outside of a clip-clopping old man selling a matchbook in 1812. I do have other interests, and this is coming to an end, so it felt very natural. But the more I started to think about it, it is branding on every level. Like, creating the show was creating the brand of Stranger Things.
Yes.
Within the show, it has become a whole... I mean, volume 1 of season 4 has 140 brands in it.
Crazy.
There are so, and it's not like we do work in television and film, and a lot of times when you illegally are putting products into a show, you have to, it's called Greeking the label. You have to either like make it look like it's horn flakes instead of cornflakes. You have to like tweak it so it's not what it is. This show is the exact opposite. Not only are they showing you all the brands that existed then and that we used then and that we loved, they are showing them accurately. They are vintage packaging, and it's extraordinary. So there's that branding within the show. And then there's like this whole world now of just branding beyond the show. There's like Stranger Things immersive experiences. There's like escape rooms. It's just so big.
I think the haunted hayride that we've been to in LA had a Stranger Things like sponsored maze or something. Yeah,
sure. I think that sounds right.
They
now
do
that
a
you're
lot
saying
of
that.
licensing, but do seem to be really consistent. It's not like the thing where it's like you just license it anywhere. Really aligned and true to the source material, I feel like.
Beyond.
Yeah.
And what's really interesting, and I was going to bring it up later, but I may as well bring it up now. A lot of times in shows, to have product placement, I know most people probably know what these things are, but there are probably people who don't. Product placement is like when a brand will pay a show, like Friends. Pepsi will pay. Pepsi? Why am I?
Hunts. Hunts will want to have
Hunts boy?
Phoebe squirting some Hunts ketchup on a French fry.
Hunts wants to be featured on Friends. They will pay them millions of dollars to have, if they find that there's a scene where that would work.
Sure.
Because Netflix is subscription-based, they don't rely on advertising dollars. So any of the brands that you see in Stranger Things were written into the show by the writers and the creators. They don't have to be in there. They write them in there for story points. No one's paying to have their brands put in there.
No one was paying.
No one was paying to have their brands put in there.
I don't think I knew that.
And then it became so popular, of course. There's product placement like agents who like, I represent these 9 brands, and they go around and try to get those brands into shows.
Crazy.
They're trying to figure out how to get their brands in the shows. Like, oh, you have a scene and I'm kind of jumping all over the place, and I'll probably go through some of the stuff again, but there's so many locations here that just naturally lend themselves to grocery stores or fairs that would have fairs. I guess a fair probably wouldn't, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Vending machines and all that.
A movie theater.
And I was reading an interview with one of the
mall season, a Brandgasm.
Don't even
out
get
the
me.
wazoo.
Don't even get me started on the fact that 3 days ago, I was watching season 3, 2 days ago. Like they care, John. Those are the things I correct that I'm like, I've wasted 12 seconds.
Because also they don't know. It's not like they can go, actually, John, it was 3 days ago. It's like, you don't know my life.
You're stalking me? Watching season 3 and saw vintage Claire's in the mall, then went and met a friend for dinner and had to walk through a mall and saw a modern day's Claire, all within like an hour of each other. And a Gap, too. In the Gap.
How did they not leave that mall open for the public to enjoy?
There have been experiences where you could go, but all those experiences are so silly. They're just basically like Instagram things. Before we get started, another personal connection I have with Stranger Things. When I worked at Avatar, for Halloween every year, we would do like a themed Halloween. And the first year I was there, we did Stranger Things. And I did Barb. And Barb was only a character I did not and there's going to be a lot of Stranger Things
Flash a photo of John as Barb here, Al.
Al, put it here. It was the badge for the Insta egg yesterday.
Oh,
so
good.
A lot of people, if you don't do the Insta egg,
fine.
that was reason right there to get it. So you can see me as Barb. But that was like... I'm a relatively confident person, but then I went to my friend's house, Leah, who's a makeup artist, and she did my Barb makeup. I had a wig. I went to JCPenney and got a perfect blouse.
I mean, you at JCPenney shopping for a blouse, I want to watch that.
At the time, I think I had to get in 2XL because women's blouses are not as generous as a men's XL.
Sure.
So, I mean, I looked good, but then I was driving down the freeway and I felt like I kind of looked like Dustin Hoffman and Tootsie.
Yeah.
Because I had a curly wig, and clearly I'm more masculine, I think, in my appearance than
you're more
feminine.
masculine, yeah.
And then I got to work, and at Avatar, I had to park pretty far away from where I worked. So then I had to park in the parking garage and walk a half a mile as this lady, and I started to get so embarrassed. And I was like, God, I can't go. I was like,
Halloween is embarrassment boot camp. You are going,
because you don't know.
You don't know.
You don't know. Is Bill gonna back out? Are they not gonna?
Are you the only one on your floor in a costume? Are you the only one? Yeah, it's terrible.
Ironically, that is a scene in Stranger Things where they all dress as Ghostbusters and go to school, and no one else dressed as them, and they get made fun of. That's when they meet Mad Max. So I make it. I go to my building. I have to go up 3 floors. I go down the walk of shame, the quiet hallway. I hear everyone bustling around, and I walked in, and I could be misremembering it, but I don't think I am. I got such a uproarious applause and cheers when I walked in. It was
such a good feeling.
And everyone, I look around and there's a Demogorgon over there, and Jessica's dressed up. She's got the baseball bat, and everyone had dressed up and was so into it, and it was just so
if
fun.
you commit to the costume, you have to really swallow your pride and take a risk there. But then I feel like it pays off. Even just dressed up as Sally for Halloween, and I haven't dressed up in a while, doing our trick-or-treating on the street. it like lights people up to see somebody in a costume. And then I was like, I said to somebody, I was like, I think I understand cosplay.
Yeah.
It's like kind of like,
Yeah.
it's kind of fun. Like people look at you and they like light up and they go, oh my gosh. And that's just a good feeling to be like recipient of like a smile and a, oh my gosh, that it's like,
Totally.
me, Comic-Con 2026.
I'm your hero. I remember like 2 years later, I had to do a project with someone at Avatar that I don't normally do it with, and we were working on it. And she looked over at some point. She's like, I just want to tell you, I always really admire your Halloween costumes. And I was like, oh, like that's so sweet.
What a fun thing to be known for.
Yes.
Like if somebody's like, oh, do you know Jon? Oh, let me think. He's a podcaster. He has an Emmy. He has amazing Halloween costumes.
Loves ice.
Pickleball.
Has set 300 totes, I think. Yeah, he's complex.
Sure.
The Heidi Klum of Avatar.
Sure.
All right, so there you go. And of course, I'm into it because it's got 80s things like swatches. That's why I'm double swatching it today. I'm wearing a shirt that will come into play.
Hey, I have a Coca-Cola 80s sweatshirt on too.
Amazing. And she had no idea.
Wow.
So that's what Stranger Things is. So, all right, let's talk about Stranger Things.
Let's get into it.
It's one of those shows that, you know, we've heard it with Harry Potter. We've heard it with other things that become super famous. It was rejected by like 15 or 20 people before.
Stories like this.
It's like...
Love. Wow.
Here's what I learned thinking about that. If you have something that you are trying to sell or pitch or whatever, and it keeps getting rejected, it's a guaranteed success.
It does not mean in any way that it is not good or up to par.
Do it a few more times and you will be a billionaire.
The more times it gets rejected actually means your wealth will grow exponentially.
Every rejection you get is another million you'll eventually acquire.
I love that.
So
we're the Stranger Things of podcasts.
We are?
Yeah, we're going to be huge.
Wait, we haven't been rejected by anybody.
I mean...
Have we? We've had I think we got a new 2-star review. There's so few of them, I can't tell.
Wait, do you track how many numbers of each star we have?
No, but when I look at the graph, I'm so used to it. They're not to toot our own horn, but our 5 stars is very long. And our 1, 2, and 4, it's 2 of those were the same. There's 2 of them, and one of them was a little smaller. Now they're all the same size. So it's something's
2
changed.
is meaner than 1.
2 is meaner
2
than
is
1.
meaner. And actually 3 might be the meanest of all.
Because you're talking stars.
Yes, because 1 or 2 is you're just maybe you're just being an asshole. You're an anarchist. You just want to watch the world burn. But 3 is nothing special here.
Yeah.
That hurts the most.
But we gotta
average.
find them, because in this day and age, if you look at reviews, maybe they just didn't, maybe they thought our shipping was slow.
That's a good point. Maybe the front desk was rude.
Yeah, maybe the front desk was rude, or maybe nobody answered customer service call.
Or they had to be on hold for a really long time.
So
and then when they got off hold, the person hung up.
All right, so the notes that they were getting from all the rejections they got were nobody was confident in doing a horror sci-fi show for adults that starred children. So they were either make a show for kids or focus on Hopper. Okay. Hopper is the cop.
The least interesting character.
The least interesting
show.
character, though. I just watched him do a monologue in season 4. Tear jerking. I was this is your audition monologue. This is your Emmy nomination monologue.
Yeah.
So they finally get an opportunity to pitch it to Netflix. And what they did that was so cool, and I did not know this, I just found it this week, and I think they might have just released it this summer. They made a trailer, slash sizzle reel, from a bunch of 80s movies
cool.
that is supposed to kind of be the show.
Sure.
And I watched it, and it's so good. It has clips from Close Encounter of the Third Kind, Poltergeist, Jaws, E.T., Halloween, The Conjuring, which is newish, A Nightmare on Elm Street, 28 Weeks Later, and it has all of the things in it. You see that there's going to be a community, you see that someone's going to be missing, and there's going to be this unknown villain, and it really gave you what season 1 was going to be. And they even used a song from this band they who they end up going to do the score and the theme song for the show. So it's got it's their vision. I suggest
That's cool.
searching
Proof
it
of concept
and checking that out. It's really neat to see. So let's get into, I guess, the branding of Stranger Things. So it's 2016. You turn on the television. Everyone's buzzing about the show. You don't know what it is.
Okay.
You know it's the 80s from the second It starts.
Yes.
Because there's a lower third that says 1983,
That helps.
I think.
Yeah, that helps.
But I gotta tell you, the 9+ minute opening of this show, before we get to the theme song, which is it's my own Brandgasm, is so incredible. Like, it starts off like one of those like little twists. Like, what are we hearing? Is that something scary? It's boys playing like D&D. We meet like the cast. They have to wrap it up. They go home. We follow Will, the main character. A scary thing happens, and he disappears all in 9 minutes. And then, like, cuts
It
to...
moves. It moves.
That show moves. There's, like, 8 or 9 episodes, and it moves almost in a way, like, if you're cynical, like, you could be like, how did they even know that would go to that? Who cares? Because it's moving.
Who cares?
Like,
We're moving. We're on. We're over it.
no fat. That is a lean cuisine.
Yeah, lean cuisine.
Probably in the freezer section.
I would love an 80s lean cuisine.
I would probably eat it because I feel like it's probably got enough stuff in it that it's still good.
Salisbury steak.
So you see this 9-minute thing, and then it goes to black, and then you hear the theme song. And if you haven't heard it, it's like this synth music that, like, it is one of the few, and I have this note in my notes to say, it is one of the theme songs that I literally never skip. I never hit the skip button because I think it's such a beautiful launch into the show. And then I started thinking, like, people like consistency. I know there's people that have talked about liking our theme song. Like, I like listening to our theme song before the show starts. It kind of like sets you up for what you're going to do. But
I would do that with Succession. That was one that I liked to watch too.
I would never.
The music really like got you in the headspace.
That banging piano on Succession is
good.
so good.
So good.
But then yesterday, I'm on like episode 40 in like 2 weeks. And like last night at like 5, I was like, I had to skip. I was like, I
get it. I get it.
So normally I wouldn't, but that's how
Sure.
I feel like I need to be truthful about everything. I did skip yesterday, but I don't want to. So then you see the logo for it, the Stranger Things, and I'm going to put a thing in the supplemental about how they came up with that. And I always thought that it looked like an old like paperback book.
Yes, absolutely. I was wondering what the reference was for that because something about the font, it's like, I read that book. You know what I mean?
Exactly. And I feel like that's like a lot of things. I found another song that's not related to this at all, but I kind of was giving it the same description because it's the song I found this week sounds like Early Cure. And I've listened to it like 40 times. And it's like a song that I've known my whole life that I've never heard.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, and that's kind of what
So
they do with Stranger
familiar.
Things. And that was very intentional. I have learned in my research. They really were basing the look of the logo off of 80s Stephen King books.
Yes.
They all kind of had that look. And then I realized the book thing is like a whole thing because every episode is called a chapter. And then now that they're dropping chapters in groups, like next week or yesterday, probably a few episodes come out. Those are called volumes.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So it's all kind of,
book
their
themed.
structuring is all book themed. Okay, so I told you about like product placement. I actually used to, way before I knew you, used to work in art department and the props department. And those are the people that would do product placements. So I would work on like low budget movies and I would strike product placement deals to get like, the good thing about product placement is it gives the prop person things that they don't have to pay for. So like I would do
Sure.
product placement with like Ray-Ban. And like before a movie, Ray-Ban would give me like 10 pairs of glasses. They're like, anyone that needs glasses in the show, you give them these, whatever. We'd strike some deal.
And what happens after the movie is none of their business.
I would definitely try my best to keep them in
This
a lot of
can
places.
of Pine Sol that was just on the kitchen table. Anybody planning on taking this home or can I snag it?
There was a lot of Pine Sol in my trunk. I remember one time I was so like, looking back on it, I was almost embarrassed. I just got distracted because I forgot you have your like Stranger
I know,
Things
the Stranger
lights all
Things
around the
lights
house.
are everywhere.
It's kind of perfect. I should have made them flicker. I was working on a low budget movie. I was so young, but confident enough in my job. And I had gotten product placement for water, and I was watching them like rehearse this scene. And in the scene, they're drinking bottled water, so I'd swapped it out with mine. But there was dialogue in the script about the water, like, oh, I love this water from Colorado. And I was like, Colorado? And I looked at the product placement water, and it was from, like, I don't know, Alaska. And I went to the director. I'm like early 20s.
I mean, you have to. Like, you would have gotten in trouble if you missed that,
I don't
right?
think so.
You
I don't think the product can force you to change script.
I don't know.
But I was like, hey, would you mind saying like this? I love this water from Alaska instead. And he's like, yeah, okay. But then I was like, they could have put Colorado in there because it's like where they're from or like
Sure,
it's
yeah.
important to them. And I'm just like some kid like
Changed the entire course of the film.
the film
Major
became
plot point.
a huge success. The Oscar clip was the Alaska water
There
thing.
you go. There you go.
That's how I got my Emmy.
That's funny.
So yeah, so I used to do this kind of stuff.
You know who has the best product placement is soap operas.
No.
Their product placement is so deranged and so over the top.
Days of Our Lives doesn't do...
Do they not do the really obvious stuff?
They've only done it a couple times, and I've joked about it in the Discord. Once, like 10 years ago, out of nowhere. I mean, Days of Our Lives has been on for... I think they just had their 60th anniversary. So they've ebbed and flowed with budget over the years.
Sure.
Back in the 80s, they would like fly to countries and film scenes and stuff. Now it's like, you can tell they have like 3 flats and everyone's just standing next to the same wall. They fly in a different painting in the background. But there was a scene like 10 years ago where like 2 of the like high school kids were doing a scene and someone's like, let's get out of here, we got to go study, and one of them was like, I'll be right there right after I have a bowl of Raisin Bran, and they like picked up a box of Raisin Bran, poured a bowl and started eating
Ate an
it.
entire bowl of cereal for
like,
3 minutes.
It felt
Hey,
so
if you're
psychotic.
pinching pennies, that's a good way to pay the bills, which by the way, we're here. If you want to send me something to drink during the show, I'll sip on it.
I'll sip on it. I'll put it in my Stanley if I'm allowed. Then it can be whatever you want. It's like those people on The Voice or American Idol. They've always got like the Dunkin' cup or the Coke cup, but who knows what's in that cup?
Tequila.
Tequila. All right, so let's go through the seasons. So season 1, there's one iconic brand. You've already mentioned it. We all know what it is, Eggo waffles.
Eggo waffles.
And season 1 is not as brand heavy as the later seasons will become. Branding and storytelling just got bigger, I think. But definitely, I think they realized the power of their branding. I feel like that probably incorporated it more. But season 1, there's still a couple of moments that I think are good branding moments. So in the third episode, we have Mike, one of the kids. He gives his newfound friend, she goes by 3 different names, 11, Elle, or Jane. I'll call her random, all of them throughout because I have zero.
I don't remember them calling her Jane.
When you probably had stopped watching by then. So when she ends up getting adopted by Hopper, so she becomes Jane.
Oh, no,
Hopper.
I remember that part, yeah.
And that's what she uses in her, like, when she's like...
In school?
On the, like, hiding.
Oh, okay.
In another town. So he gives her a waffle, an Eggo waffle, and it just becomes like the only thing that she likes. And I think there's a few different reasons that they use it, why she's drawn to it. I think the creators used it because it's just another thing that kind of, I think they know that something like Eggo waffles will have a nostalgia factor for us watching it. It reminds us of being that age and our moms giving us an Eggo waffle. For her, for the character, I think like if very quick backstory on her, she's like raised in like a laboratory, her head shaved. When we first meet her, she's like escaped this madness and is entering the real world for the first time. And this is kind of her first, like, someone who clearly cares about me is giving me this
a gesture
item
of kindness that she's never felt before.
And so I think on a probably way more psychological level than I need to be doing on her, that's why she loves Eggo so much, because it gives her this, like...
I mean, this is what's so cool about shows that are made or movies that are made by people with really clear visions. You know that they did all of this deep digging into why she liked the Eggo waffle. That's because everything in the show, especially in the early seasons, I can't speak to the later ones as much, is like so specifically a choice. So surely they've thought about this is a gesture of kindness, and she's kind of projecting some emotional connection with Hopper from the Eggo waffle. I mean, yeah, it must be.
Yeah, and I think what they also did is Elle, or 11, is a kind of a direct comparison to E.T. She's kind of the alien of this show. She doesn't speak great English. Even on Halloween, she wants to go as a ghost, which I think E.T. did. Like, because
it's an homage.
They can hide.
Sure.
The Eggos are kind of the Reese's Pieces. Like, at one point, she finds Eggos in the woods. Like, it's a lot of those same E.T. moments. They do so many homages in this show.
Yeah.
And once you know that, and if you're familiar with what they're tipping their hat to, you can't not see them. Like, every 80s movie is represented.
I love homage because you can just like copy something and be like, it's an homage.
It's an homage. Is that an homage? Hey, I wanted to ask you, was that an homage?
Was that a copy or an homage? Oh, it was an homage.
Oh,
okay,
you weren't
great.
just
No, I
copying
like
them?
it.
Oh, that was an homage? Okay.
Now I love it.
Well, it gave me a Brandgasm
E.T., famous product placement story. M&M's didn't want to do it. Reese's Pieces slides right in.
What fools were they?
What fools?
Do you think the person who did that still thinks about it, or
Yes.
have they passed?
They're tossing and turning at this moment, regardless of the time of day.
Yeah,
They're
I hope-
tossing and turning in their car on the way to work with regret.
Do you think they're pulled over right now
Yes,
listening to the show?
they are.
They're like, can I not escape this? At least they don't know my name is Mark Spitzman. Mark. All right. So, what effect did this appearance have on Eggo? Their sales soared.
Oh my gosh, how funny! Are people that dumb that they like see Eggo? And no, whenever I see product placement, even like we have, it'll be like the Staples Center, what it used to be called, like our sports arena. I'm like, do people really think like, does that work? How much it costs to get your name on an arena that you're like, what store I haven't been to in a while? Staples.
I don't know. I feel like those are two kind of different things. I think watching a show and seeing, especially a food item.
Sure, that you're like, ooh, that looks yummy.
Yeah, like if I'm so easily
You're suggestible,
influenced by things like that. I'll think about, if I saw a syrupy, buttery bite of Eggo, I'll think about that for 4 days. I'll either have to eventually get it or it will fade.
Okay, yeah.
But I feel like that's a little different
The Eggos, too, it's not like they look delicious in the show. I mean, they're just like a dry, floppy Eggo. It's not like a close-up shot of like syrup and butter, like to make your mouth water.
That's true.
Even just me saying this, I feel like you're thinking about waffles.
I mean, because when I see the Eggos, I'm not looking at the product they're eating.
Sure.
I'm looking at the beautiful yellow packaging
Yeah,
that
and you're
does
like,
have
ooh,
that
Eggo
has
is
that
good.
shot on it.
Interesting. Okay. Did you eat Eggo waffles after seeing Stranger Things? Are you one of the people?
No, this one didn't get me. But it got a lot of people. Sales went up 14% in 2017, another 9.4% in the beginning of 2018. They got a massive surge in their social media mentions, almost 1,000% increase at one point of their social media mentions. It gave them this whole like renewed cultural relevance.
You can't buy that kind of publicity.
You can, and this is season 1.
Wow.
This is like just the beginning.
They
of
didn't
it.
even know it would be such a big hit, I'm sure.
No, not at all.
This reject show.
Kellogg's used that leverage for consumer engagement. Then they start making their own collab outside of the show. There's like and this will happen a lot, even though these shows aren't, or these brands aren't paying to be on the show, they will then create, and that's what I was kind of saying in the open.
Yeah.
They'll create like limited edition upside down waffles.
Sure.
How easy is that? It looks the exact same to make the waffle upside down. They didn't really do that, but now that I'm brainstorming, that's
It is a
me
good
and
idea.
MeV. Like, we'll do upside down waffles. We don't even have to change anything. I will say that is kind of, I love when a show gets a gimmick that is super easy for everyone to do.
Sure.
And for them, the evil world is called the upside down. And that wasn't even the name it was given when it was scripted.
Oh, interesting.
It's just what everyone was calling it on set.
Because
and then it
everything
kinda
looked
stuck.
upside down.
It
in
literally looks
Yeah,
upside
okay,
down.
yeah.
Like some of the shots you see, like this house, if the camera were to turn upside down, this exact same house would be below us,
Yes,
but
okay.
it would be all spooky wooky.
It looks spooky and like dusty and like misty.
There's
yeah.
cool little like pieces. I did for my Insta Egg yesterday. I made the Insta Egg look like the Stranger Things logo, and it
Cool.
slowly turns upside down. And it's got those little pieces.
Oh my
floating
gosh,
around.
you're
So
having fun over there in the egg.
It was a lot. It's one of my favorite Insta Eggs, even though it's like stealing the design. And
Who cares? It's an homage.
or stolen. No, it's an homage.
Homage.
So then the other brand that I want to talk about in season 1, and kind of like the hero of branding for this whole series, is Coca-Cola. In season 1, the iconic moment for Coke is Eleven is at home, much like E.T. was left at home alone, and she's like flipping through the TV station. She sees a commercial
Oh,
for
vintage commercials.
There's so much of that too. Like there's
Yeah.
so much of everything in this. You literally see clips of TV shows, you see clips of movies. Like it's not even just homages, it's like straight up everything.
Yeah.
Music is a huge thing. We'll get to that later on. There's like a He-Man commercial, which I didn't even watch He-Man, but I love like the shouty
It
He-Man
feels
thing.
fun, yeah.
And then she sees a Coca-Cola commercial, and then that triggers her into a flashback. And we see her back in the lab, and they're doing all these tests on her, and she's sitting at a table, and there's just a can of Coke there, and she's staring at it, and the can just like crumbles. And that becomes like a very iconic moment in the
Sure.
show, and it gives Coke like millions of, and I'm going to be very honest with numbers here. I'm very confused about branding numbers. So there are apparently, when a product is in a show,
Yeah.
there are product placement value, there is media value, there is ad value. They vary from millions. One of them said that Coca-Cola got 33 billion in value from this, and then I searched.
But what does that mean?
I don't. I looked it
Yeah.
up, and then AI was like, "That is incorrect," and I was like, "I don't know." So I may throw some numbers out.
Well, and a lot of those, I mean, it's like if you're ascribing a value to that type of publicity, maybe that was like $1 billion worth of publicity for the impact it had. Yeah, I don't know.
I think
we didn't go major in marketing.
I mean, I did do a note down at the very bottom of my thing of like media value is broad and can apply to all forms of paid exposure, and then product placement value is specific and applies.
But how do you know like who's buying what from what they're influenced by?
And it all depends on like how well the item is seen, how long it's on, how iconic is the moment. It's like there's so many factors in it. Just assume that every brand in here got millions of something.
They're doing great.
They're all doing
Let's say
great.
it's a good Christmas for the kids in that family.
Yeah. Everyone got a ham from their boss for the last 9 years. All right, so Coca-Cola
Have you gotten your ham yet? No, did they come?
I've always wanted to get a mailed ham.
A mailed ham from your boss?
Ooh, maybe.
Podcast one.
Now a lot of...
Al sometimes will be like, what should the gift be this year? It's like, should it be like, we got a nice blanket, a sweatshirt, and you're like, ham.
Ham, please, with no bone. A boneless ham.
A boneless ham. Someone send John a boneless ham.
Actually, your mom every year gets honey baked ham.
It's coming, yeah.
And gives me a big portion of it.
There you go.
All right, so that's season 1. I would say season 1, we can boil it down to Eggo and Coca-Cola. And of course, you see other things in it, but I'm not focusing on it. Season 2. The show has now grown to 8.8 million people watched it in the first 3 days. That's the other thing number-wise from this thing. Netflix doesn't like give out all their numbers, and so like you find all these different stats from different places, and then they're also for different durations because it's a streaming thing. Like it used to be like television show, like 400 million people watch J.R. Ewing get shot, and now it's like this is just continuously on. So in like 3 days, this many millions watch it. By 90 days, a billion. But it's like I'm watching it yesterday, so it's still getting numbers.
Yeah,
like,
it's really weird. And they are just famously private about that.
Yeah, and it's so again, with some of my, this is more about celebrating the brands than it is the figures.
Sure.
All right, so season 2 comes in, and it gives us a lot of those opportunities to see a bunch of brands. We have an arcade for the first time. In the arcade, we saw Dragon Slayer, which...
Fun.
Oh my God, the graphics on Dragon Slayer, like that's a game that I don't feel like I've seen. So many like vintage games have been remade so many times over the years. Like Pac-Man, you can get on every format.
Yeah.
Donkey Kong, all those. Dragon Slayer, I've never really seen since then. So it was so it's like if you don't know it, it's like a cartoon basically video game, and it's just super fun. But you do see Asteroid and Pac-Man and Dig Dug. There's a whole episode named Dig Dug because one of the characters beats someone else's character and gets the top score in Dig Dug. You've also got Halloween Night, which gives us a bunch of fun branding and costumes. You've got Ghostbusters, a bunch of branding with candy. You've got Hershey's and Mr. Goodbar and Reese's and all those things. Three Musketeers has a pull-out moment from that. Three Musketeers becomes the candy that is fed to a baby alien, so it really has like a moment.
They get a little moment.
You have a school location where you're seeing Trapper Keepers, which is really fun. I did an episode on that. You're seeing a Hero Swatch watches, which is great because this is prime Swatch. At Barb's parents' house, we have a whole scene centered around a bucket of Kentucky Fried Chicken. Even at the end of that scene, at an awkward moment, hottie little Steve like looks at the parents and it's all quiet. And he's like, "Finger looking good." Like they even get their little slogan in there.
Wow.
In Mike's room, we have a big Millennium Falcon toy, which is so nostalgic for so many kids from the 80s, was getting those Star Wars figures and vehicles. Car product placement, Chevrolet is a big one. Billy's car is a Chevrolet Camaro. Hopper drives a Chevrolet truck. There's just so many brands. Joyce's job, we see Kodak and GE. Her boyfriend works at a Radio Shack. We see movie clips from Mr. Mom, Terminator, Halloween, and then all those E.T. references that I was talking about earlier. The like people searching in the woods with flashlights. We've got Elle wanting to be the ghost, and then we hear rattling in the garage. We know that there's something out there, and it turns out to be this little alien that gets fed the thing. It's like so same thing, but
it's just
different
like
mask.
the coziest type of movie, like show. Like I don't know. It's like why would anybody think that this would not be a good idea for a series?
It's like it's like all those things. It's all
checks
hindsight.
so
look
many
at Harry
boxes.
Potter.
I
You
know.
look at Harry Potter. That's like a never-ending juggernaut of
Yeah.
like they're making a whole news series about that now.
It just hits on so many. It like scratches itches you didn't even know existed to see all of this stuff.
Yeah. And it's perfect timing for people our age.
Yeah.
Like it's the same kind of philosophy of like when people get adult money, like you'll see toys cycle around. Like Strawberry Shortcake is popular in the 80s, and when they'll do the math, like in 20 years we'll bring her back because those kids that loved her now have money and then we'll rebuy that
The little miniature McDonald's toys, the Boo Buckets. Yeah, it's all for our nostalgic
and
80s
our
babies'
wallet.
hearts and
It's
our
all
wallets.
for our wallets.
It's all for our wallets, yeah.
Viewership at the end of season 2 is so large that brands are seeing as much as 150% increase in sales after their episodes air. I kind of compare it to like the Oprah effect. Oprah, like for when she still had her show, I don't know how, maybe it's still influential now. She doesn't even have a magazine now, but I know she still does her list, which is basically just everything on earth. She's just my list this year is everything. I get 5% of whatever you buy. But like back in the day, if Oprah mentioned your brand
she
on
could
her
put
show,
your brand on the map. Or a book, if she put you on her book club list, you would be like instant New York Times bestseller.
Yeah, and this is kind of that same thing. I remember she did that with Sprinkles. She mentioned Sprinkles, and all of a sudden, I think the one, did you work at the Beverly Hills one?
Yeah.
The lines for that were out.
They were out
down the
door.
street for after she mentioned it.
They were.
All right, season 3. We now got 40 million accounts tuned into the season 3 premiere. It just keeps growing. This season, we're going to see 100 brands. So every year just kind of increases and increases. An interesting note that I did read was, and what I actually found interesting about this was, they were saying other shows like House of Cards actually have more brands in them, which surprised me.
I'm surprised by that.
But they make less money for them because viewership for Stranger Things is just so big that it's still better for the brand to be on Stranger Things than it is to be on those shows.
Sure, and the type of viewer who's watching Stranger Things is not the type of viewer who's watching House of Cards. The Stranger Things viewers likes pop culture. And so they might have a Funko Pop or two. They might want to buy a special edition cereal, or you know what I mean? Like
Funko Pop seems made for Stranger Things.
It really does. Exactly. So like that's the perfect demographic to expect your audience to like convert seeing something on the screen to like making a purchase.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think
It's a show for, it's like they wanted a Funko Pop. It's like how Ninja Turtles or whatever was like a toy first. Like Stranger Things could have been a Funko Pop first, and then they went backwards.
Is that right? I think I knew that and I forgot that.
I think it was Ninja Turtles. One of those. Yeah, was a toy first and then became a show. I can't remember which one.
Oh, I love stuff like that. All right, well, now we're coming into season 3. Like I said, 40 million people are watching it, but we get this whole new amazing landscape for brands, the Starcourt Mall. It's perfection. It is for someone like me who loved and now revisiting love for mall culture, for brands, for 80s, for vintage, for...
It's like checking every single box.
Like, talk about Brandgasm. If I could spend a weekend, that should be like an Airbnb where you can just like
really sleep in that mall. Well, and the attention to detail for everybody... Every single thing had to be amended to fit the decade. Every extra had to be dressed in vintage 80s clothes. Every movie poster far off in the distance, every product on the shelf, the packaging had to be true. For a set that big, that is a big job.
Big job.
Yeah.
I would have loved to do that. And
That's
that's exactly
so
right.
cool.
That's what I put in my notes because it's giving you... You think, okay, cool, yeah, there's a bunch of vintage stores, but it's the shopping bags.
Yes,
it's
shopping
what people
bags,
are wearing. It's the
sneakers,
food court.
the food court,
it's the neon
cups.
zigzag on the wall in the food mart or the
Yes.
food court. It's like the big plant. I think there's a plant.
I think there's a big plant, which is very 80s to have a big plant in the mall.
Very 80s.
Yeah,
So
big fern.
stores we're seeing here: JCPenney, Burger King, Orange Julius, Sam Goody, Chess King. Do you remember Chess King?
What is
That was
Chess King?
I feel like maybe a boy store.
Yeah.
And maybe a little too early for you. Walden Books, this one for you, Hot Dog on a Stick. And then they on one of them, there's like a store being built, and it just says Taco Bell coming soon. Even that little detail I thought was so fun.
puts a stamp on it. Yeah, it's like, Taco Bell's expanding into malls like this year of this show.
My favorite had to be The Gap. That's our episode 1 of our podcast. cast.
Oh, yeah.
They're using the 80s Gap logo where it's called The Gap and it's in lowercase.
They would have loved our timeline because it really would have helped them know what brands to include and what not to include.
We should have reached out, and then we would have to broker a deal to have Imperium Shaving like, have a kiosk in the mall, and they're like...
Maybe one of them, I forget their names, Scooty, what's one of them?
Scooty.
What are their names?
Who?
Will. 11.
Lucas.
Isn't there someone named like Scooty or
Yeah,
something?
there's Scooty. Yeah,
Okay.
we'll have Scooty.
Maybe Scooty's listening to an episode of On Brand on a Walkman.
You mean Max?
Isn't there like someone
red
with a
hair
funny
girl?
name, Scooty?
Oh boy, you should,
What are? Can you name all of them?
babe. I don't know that I'll remember all the kids' names. There's Will,
Well,
Lucas,
Scooty.
the toothless one.
Is that Scooty?
No, I looked at this through branding, not through kids. Kids of Stranger Things. It just puts their actor names. So you have Finn, Charlie, Sadie. Oh, gosh, you're derailing me. Oh, okay. You have Mike Wheeler, Mike, Will, Lucas, Dustin, and 11.
Okay,
There's no
Dustin, I
Scooty.
think it was Scooty in my mind.
And then Max ends up joining. Max, I love.
Yeah,
Max
she's great.
Max goes on to be in a Taylor Swift video.
Yeah, she's the redhead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And for some reason, I think I was jealous of all these kids. It's like, screw you. I get jealous.
Jealous of the kids?
I get jealous of anyone who's successful early because
Oh
I just
my
wish I had
gosh.
been more ambitious as a kid.
We don't want to be. No one wants to be.
I
want
to be a child actor. I want to be right now in recovery doing this podcast.
Oh my god, you want to be Corey Feldman, my co-host?
Let's just say they were probably on my avocado list, but then I did a little research on them on this, and I was like, they all were like on Broadway before that. Like they were all very talented. And I was
Sure,
like, you know what?
Scooty was in Les Miserables.
Them and Olivia. I'm just taking everyone off my list. I'm just
Oh, great.
celebrating everyone in their
Celebrate
talents.
everyone's hard work. I love that.
Yeah, except Millie Bobby Brown.
She's obnoxious.
She's staying on the list. She's a big old avocado.
Yeah.
Okay, so at the Gap is super fun because it actually gets a moment. It gets kind of like an 80s outfit shopping montage.
Oh, yes, that's
We
so
have
fun.
11 go in there with Max. They finally become friends. There was girl tension for a minute. This is the first time where Max she's kind of been either dressed in the lab. She wore the same weird outfit for all of season 1, which became... I think they do that so they can do action figures and stuff like that.
Sure, like their uniform.
Yeah, season 2, she's basically wearing clothes that people have given her. So this moment in the Gap is very like, you pick you, girl. You find
It's
your
an
outfit.
homage to like the makeover montage.
100%.
So fun.
So she finds her look in there. And the Gap just looks so... It's probably earlier than I really went to the Gap, but I assume all the research they did, this is what the Gap looked like.
You have
It was
to
so
assume.
bright and fun. Everything is like primary colors and it
I
just...
thought that too. Her outfit that she ends up in, I was like, that's a Gap outfit?
Yeah, how much have they like
I
dulled
trust
down?
that you were on eBay and you checked the archives. They probably had access to the Gap archives.
Yeah, oh, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was kind of surprising to see, but it was definitely now if I had a time machine, I would grab that Big Mac and head over to 1985.
You could
Gap.
get a burger from the mall also.
I feel like by 80s, they're not...
Everything's bad again.
Not... It's somewhere between then and now. Like, I'd rather get them in, like, 1950.
Sure. But, while you're there,
While I'm there.
you're not picking up a Burger King Whopper.
I mean, sure. I'll grab a
Boys
Whopper.
got to eat.
What else are we seeing in this season? Season 3, there's a bunch of shoe moments. We got Converse, Vans, Adidas, Nike, Reebok. Fun fact, Dustin or 11 wear a pair of Reeboks in every single episode of this season.
Oh my gosh, funny.
Kellogg's has a product placement in this season. We go to a 7-Eleven. We see Vintage Hostess, which is obviously an on-brand favorite. We've got in the hospital, there's a vending machine moment where you only see like 4 of the candy bars, but then for one frame, basically, you see the whole vending machine, and then 11 makes all the candy like explode out of it. I spent 5 minutes trying to freeze on that frame, and I finally got it. And it's like it's got Fruit Skittles, which they're called Fruit Skittles. Not anymore, just Skittles.
Wow.
I think.
Oh
I don't
my
think they say
gosh.
Fruit Skittles anymore. Kit Kat, Reese's Pieces, Snickers, Milk Duds, Crunch Bar, whatchamacallit, Twix, Three Musketeers, Peanut Butter Cups, M&M's, Almond Joy, and an oatmeal cream pie.
I love a whatchamacallit.
Literally all that in there for one frame.
And true vintage packaging.
True vintage packaging.
Wow, so
Fantastic.
cool.
You see a Coke machine, you see a Sprite machine.
There should be an Emmy category for this.
For my research, there is.
well,
I already won it actually.
No,
but that
for
is so nice
the
of
people
you.
who did this, who made the stuff for the vending machine.
There is art direction. I think that probably goes under that.
Okay, yeah. Then that's good. No notes then for the Emmys. No notes.
Sarah, did you take down that note? You can scratch that note. No, we're not going to. She's already got the phone up.
Redact it.
Redact it. We're not going to reach out to the Emmys today. There's over $15 million in advertising value in the first 3 days of release. And like I was saying earlier, that's based on screen time, logo visibility, product discernibility. It's too much, too nerdy.
Too specific, too dorky. They're taking something fun and making it dorky.
But they have to. I mean,
Sure.
they're all about making money. But it's just
Sure.
not what our focus is.
Sure.
The top 10 visible brands on the show for this season are Coca-Cola, Cadillac, Chevrolet, Casio, 7-Eleven, Sharp, Adidas, Pentax, my first camera, Reebok, and Burger King.
Wow.
Coca-Cola apparently gets at least 21 references in season 3. We see it in vending machines, cans, posters, product, etc. So this is probably my favorite branding moment of the whole series, I think.
Ooh.
I'm wearing it right now.
Drum roll, please. Alice, why
Al's
are you
like,
banging on the table?
Takes all that out. So season 3 does a product placement in the show that I just think is fantastic. They take what is very often considered one of the largest branding blunders of all time.
Okay.
And it happened to happen the year that this episode is taking place. So they just embraced it. So if you are not familiar, in 1985, and it makes me so, as a double Virgo, it makes me so freaking mad that in 1985, on Coca-Cola's 99th birthday, they changed the formula of Coke. Apparently, they were under pressure. Pepsi was taking the lead. Apparently 99 years wasn't enough for them to hold on to their laurels. They were like, we have to change. Pepsi's doing it. Pepsi was people were saying Pepsi was sweeter. Coke should be sweeter. It should be this. It should be that. They're like, okay, we turn 100 next year. I would be in the back like, we're turning 100 next year. Maybe we get to that. And then we play around with the...
Wait for the big centennial milestone.
I mean, I just...
But 99 has a good ring to it also. You're right.
Yeah, we'll be the Betty Whites of beverages.
Make it to 99.
Oh, wait.
What did we say this was?
What did we say? Pray, think, something kink.
Yeah.
I forgot. That
Merch. So we'll remember.
So on their 99th birthday, they changed their formula. They released a new drink called New Coke. I think it is honestly on the shelves for something like 80 days. I didn't do the research. It is not a long time. I don't even think it's 6 months. They take it off. They can't just release Coke again because now they've changed the name. So then what has been Coca-Cola for 99 years is called Coca-Cola Classic. It's just a whole thing.
What a hazinga.
It is the hazinga of hazingas. If we hadn't named hazingas, we would have named them New Coke.
Yeah.
But hazinga's a lot more fun. So, Stranger Things brings in New Coke to it. Coca-Cola they're already loving everything that this show's doing for them. They embrace it. They re-release New Coke through a lot of really fun ways. They have these special, scary vending machines where all the buttons are upside down and everything. You could buy it online. I bought it online when we were in Hawaii.
Oh my
gosh. I stepped away from the group and had to deal with this drop. I bought a bundle. I got 2 cans of New Coke and this New Coke shirt.
Wow. Bundle bitch.
I'm a bundle bitch.
Did you taste the New Coke?
I never opened them, and now I think they're in storage, and now they've probably exploded. I wanted to bring one here to have in the background, but
oh my gosh,
I think they're probably exploded in storage.
It's quite buried.
But they're so fun with it. They even write a scene into the show where Lucas, they're all the kids are always on an adventure, and there's always this fun banter back and forth. And then at one point, Lucas cracks open a New Coke and is drinking it, and I forget who is oh, what are you doing? He's like, what? It's good. And everyone's like, no, it's not.
That's fun.
And yeah, they really are tongue in cheek about it and have a really fun moment with it.
That's cute.
I just love that that's in there. I'm obviously a Coke
head.
I'm a Coke head. So I like seeing that in there. Okay, so I would say New Coke is one of the big moments of 3, but the other one, which isn't a real brand, but now it is, and it falls into this whole thing about this whole story, is Scoops Ahoy. Scoops Ahoy is an ice cream shop within the mall. It was not a real place. It was created by the show. It's where Hottie Steve works and what's her name? Uma
Thurman's daughter.
And Ethan Hawke's daughter. Something
Yeah.
Hawke. Maya Hawke?
Maya Hawke.
Maya Hawke.
Maya Hawke.
Maya Hawke. It's like Jar Jar Binks. Misa Hawke. There's your collab. Misa Hawke potato chips.
Maya Hawke
Merch.
and Jar Jar Binks are doing a collab for Misa Hawke potato chips.
No, miso. Oh, like the miso
Miso
sauce.
Hawke.
Miso
They're still
ramen. Jar
potato
Jar
chips?
Binks and
Miso soup.
miso soup.
Okay, it's called miso soup.
Brought to
And
you
it's
by-
Jar Jar Binks. And Maya Hawke is also there. Great. We got it.
Jar Jar Binks miso soup.
Me too.
Okay.
She's great. I like Maya Hawke.
She's really good in it.
Yeah, she's
Plays
great.
a Les.
Oh.
So Steve finally opens up his heart to her in a very fun scene where they've both been given truth serum, but then they escape the Russians and find themselves sick in the bathroom. And they're like, I wonder if the truth serum is still in us. And then she says something. He's like, it's still in you. And then he does this really sweet monologue about a girl that he likes, and it's clearly her.
Oh, I remember that being cute. Yeah.
And then she's like, I really, because he thought that she had confessed to him earlier that she had a crush on him in a class that he doesn't remember her being in. And then she has to tell him, you know, when I told you that story, I was obsessed with you, but it was only because the girl I like was obsessed with you. And he's like, but she's a girl. And then he has this moment. He's like, oh.
And he's nice to her.
Oh, he's so great.
Yeah.
They really turned Steve around. He was such a jerk in season 1 and becomes like breakout, like lovely boy. For
They
the
were
rest.
like, let's make him nice.
Yeah.
And then they just did. I saw him at a restaurant at Little
He's-
Dom's.
Where at Little Dom's?
He was sitting on the patio.
I let him be my little Dom.
You let him be your little Dom.
This is on brand. We can't talk about
Oh,
that.
yeah, that's right.
But no, he's super talented. He's like in a band. Like he's
Yeah.
very wildly successful.
Yeah.
And cute to boot.
Cute to boot.
All right, so we've got Scoops Ahoy. So they work in this thing, and then Baskin Robbins sees an opportunity to get on this whole Netflix game. They're not even
Great.
in the show, but they're
No.
like, listen, you have an ice cream shop. Why don't we make a recreation of a Scoops Ahoy in our flagship store in Burbank, California? So they create a pop-up. They recreate Scoops Ahoy. It's very cute, very like Instagrammable. They change the front and the door handles. They turn into like ropes and the inside. They really go all out. I of course went to it.
Oh.
I didn't wait in line for it. I wasn't
forgot
that
about
much of a like I got because they were selling like branded ice cream. They had what did they have? They had a Demogorgon sundae, of course. The Breyer's House Lights Polar Pizza. Too many words, but there's a scene where there's Christmas lights, and that's become very iconic because it was
Okay.
a chocolate chip cookie topped with Snickers, ice cream, and the M&Ms were the lights.
Okay, that's cute.
A USS Butterscotch, a sundae that's referenced on the show. And then this is to me a Hazinga, an lemonade freeze. What does lemonade have to do with
An
11 at all?
11-aid
Why would it
freeze.
not have been an
Eggo
Eggo ice cream sandwich?
I've had an Eggo ice cream sandwich.
Why wouldn't that
And they're
have been-
good.
Why
It's
wouldn't that have
so
been the
easy.
thing?
An Eggo, a waffle cone. Make an Eggo waffle cone.
Eggo waffle cone, Eggo ice cream sandwich that you can dip in like a maple, like
Great.
a warm maple,
Yes.
like topping.
A buttery maple ice cream and an Eggo waffle cone.
All brands should have us on retainer.
I mean, really, really.
So Netflix and Baskin Robbins are very into this idea. Like they let Baskin Robbins read the scripts before the show's
Oh
out.
my
They let them
gosh.
see the show early so that they can
Wow.
get everything right. Baskin Robbins, I applaud them, did their own research about what was going on in the 80s, and they
That's
really
cute.
spent a lot of time on it. The
That's
strategy really
fun.
worked. Over 2 weeks, sales jumped an impressive 150%.
Great.
And then what I find interesting about this is all successful. That was only for a couple of weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Baskin Robbins, I did think, still carried Stranger Things branded flavors.
Mm-hmm.
But then Scoops Ahoy becomes its own brand. You can buy Scoops Ahoy ice cream now at like Walmart and
Can
different
you
places.
really?
So it's like just kind of this like there's nowhere it ends and begins. It's like everything can be something.
This is so rare and dare I say strange because things like that the fact that a Bubba Gump shrimp is a restaurant,
Right.
that you're like, wait, that's from one movie that came out in 1994? Like, that there would ever be people who are eating Scoops Ahoy ice cream. If these products can carry on beyond the success of Stranger Things, time will tell. But it's funny that, like, that has happened only a handful of times before. And if there's any franchise that can pull it off, I feel like it's Stranger Things.
Yeah, I
don't
think
know.
they
We'll
did it with
see.
their pizza too. In season 4, there's a pizza delivery place, and I am pretty sure that there you can buy frozen pizzas with that Stranger Things branding at Walmart too. Walmart is a big proponent
So
of
crazy.
Stranger Things brands.
So
Dare I
weird.
say Stranger Things brands? I don't.
No, I liked it. It was really good, and I liked it. And it made sense, which is the most important thing.
Okay, so that's season 3. Now season 4, this is the most recent season. It still came out like 2 or 3 years ago. It has a lot of fun moments. It had some pre-moments before the show came out that I thought were really fun. Domino's came out with what they were calling the mind ordering app.
Oh, what's that?
I never used it. I was looking for reviews to see how it worked, but basically, of course, they have a fun little let's turn it up to 11 when ordering our pizza.
Fun.
They created this app that apparently you didn't have to, you could do all the ordering with gestures from your eyes and face, like not touching it. They wanted it to be very like, you know.
Like 11?
Like 11,
you
like
can
using your mind
psychically order
control. So you're
your
like,
pizza?
pepperoni. Like, I don't know how you do it. Like if you have to pepperoni, you have to make an O, like, oh.
You have to make your mouth look like the shape of the topping you want. Like mushroom is like,
Yeah. And banana peppers, like,
olives is like,
onions, you have to force a tear out. Yeah.
That's
so
fun.
they had that. They had the mind ordering app. Doritos did a virtual concert. I watched the video. They made a whole. I love it when someone makes like a found footage video that you're supposed to have been from 40 years ago.
Fun.
Basically, they were saying in 1986 there was supposed to be this big concert called the Doritos Music Fest of '86. The bus with all the band members goes missing. The concert never happened until now.
Oh.
So now the concert's happening. You had to buy a bag of Doritos in order to get tickets to watch the virtual concert.
Okay.
It was going to have the Go-Go's, Corey Hart, Soft Cell, plus a surprise appearance by Charlie XCX, who has nothing to do with the 80s.
was not alive.
But 140,000 people watched the concerts, meaning
cute.
they sold 140,000 bags of Doritos.
Great.
Fantastic. Season 4, most viewed English language series on Netflix up until that point.
Crazy.
930.3 million hours watched in the first 28 days.
Bananas.
When Volume 2 drops, over 1 billion hours watched. This time, we have 140 brands just in Volume 1. Coca-Cola and Lacoste lead with product placement. In the first 28 days, Coke hits 1.83 million value of whatever that is, and Lacoste hits 1.8. Lacoste, it's kind of funny. Lacoste is only in the show in one episode and is worn by a kind of a real asshole bully.
Yeah.
He's also the one that wears Reeboks. It gets a real close-up of the shoe as he's stepping on someone's hands, but still
Hey,
does
it
wonders for the
helps.
thing.
Sure.
I think the surprise brand of season 4 was Jif peanut butter.
Oh.
We have Hopper, who's being held prisoner by the Russians. He goes through an escape, a really fun escape. He's traveling through snow, ends up in a church, opens all these boxes, finds a crate of peanut butter, eats that basically to save his life. Then we have Winona Ryder being kidnapped by someone else. She's in an airplane. She opens up a crate, finds Jif peanut butter, smashes a jar, uses the glass to like cut through like their like bandages or what their restraints.
Wow, glass jar peanut butter.
I know, which actually a freak brought up. Eric Make a Mess brought up today. He DM'd me. He's like, I don't even know why. He's like, I like this peanut butter. Comes in a glass jar. He's like, what peanut butter do you like? And I wanted to be like, I'm going to talk about glass jar peanut butter in like an hour.
But you couldn't reveal your
But
secret.
I couldn't tell him.
Oh, well
Now he
now you
knows.
know.
So yeah, surprising a lot of screen time for Jif peanut butter. I didn't look up the numbers, but I'm sure it did wonders for them. There's a scene in like a local small town supermarket where we see a ton of brands.
That's a Brandapalooza in the supermarket.
You've got Curade, you've got Johnson & Johnson, Ziploc, Black Cat fireworks even,
wow.
Brillo pads that look like back when Warhol painted them. There's a cereal aisle. They had a lot of fun with the cereal, and I was pausing because some things get featured really well, and other things you have to pause it and kind of see, but they had like all of like the novelty cereals in there. They had Mr. T cereal, they had Ghostbuster cereal, and Smurf Berry Crunch in there, all
Crazy.
which I thought was really fun. And while I'm thinking about it, I want to give a quick shout out to a fellow researcher that I met when I was researching the show named Sergi. They run a website called brandtrack.pro. It's now like you have to pay to get it, but basically what they do is what I just did for this is they watch shows and they keep lists of all the brands that are shown within that show.
Oh my gosh.
And I wrote them and I was like, hey, listen, I'm doing this episode on Stranger Things. I'd love to see your research on just that show. I don't love to not
have to pay a subscription, sure.
And they wrote back and they were so nice. So like, I looked at your thing. I haven't listened to it, but it looks super fun. Here's the list. It was like
nice.
550 lines of brands.
That's what you want for the timeline.
That's what I want my timeline
we need to
be
get
like.
Sergey on the timeline.
So I did not use all that information, but I definitely pulled some. I've looked through to verify things, and I want to thank them for their hard work in doing something that
is very interesting.
Not everybody would.
And if that's something you're into, check out. It's what'd you say, Brandmaster Pro?
No, not at all.
What'd you call
Brandtrack.pro. Brandmaster Pro. Sergi's like, who the hell are? This is like. That's you in a nutshell with like Instagram. I'm going to tell a story in just a minute.
Taylor Smith.
Another brand that is really featured in the beginning of 4 is with the Hellfire Club, and it's also featured in the pilot. The boys playing Dungeons and Dragons. It's a big thing for these nerdy boys.
I'm sure we'll do that at some point. I feel like someone suggested that over the years.
Someone definitely has. Now that I've seen a few things on Dungeons and Dragons, not even just from here, I've come across a video of a woman explaining to someone else. I think they're both famous, but I don't know who they are. What Dungeons and Dragons is, and the way she explains it is so hypnotic to watch.
Yeah.
And like after like 10 minutes, she's like, "There, you've been playing it." And he's like, so she's like, "You encounter this person. What do you think what would you want to do? Would you want to like run away, or would you want to like think about maybe asking them a question?" Like, I think we could have had a lot of fun.
We
with
need
that.
a master.
We need a master.
If anybody wants to be our master,
we need a master.
We would do really great.
I would dare say the biggest branding moment of all time, of all the seasons of Stranger Things, came in season 4. And it came with the character Max. Basically, she's the villain is trying to kill Max and bring her into the Upside Down. And they realize the only way that you can save yourself from that happening is to find your favorite song. And when they're attempting to kill you, you have to listen to that song because it triggers things in your body. Music triggers things that nothing else does.
Okay.
And that song ends up being Kate Bush's Running Up That Hill, which I don't know if you remember when that hit
Running up the hill.
What happened with that song alone
Crazy.
was just insane. It was a song that was originally released in August of 1985. In the U.S. charts, it reached 30. It did well. It was a successful song. It had not been thought about, really. People sure liked it for 37 years. 37 years later, they approach her about putting this song in the show. She's very hesitant to use her songs in pop culture. It's just not what she's about. She liked the show. She was like, yeah, go ahead and do it.
Wow.
It becomes almost the theme song for the whole season. It's like becomes such a pop culture moment. Apparently Winona Ryder was a fan and she was pushing for the song to be in there. It got an 8,700% increase in global streams over the course of 1 weekend.
Because kids are hearing this for the first time.
Kids are hearing it for the people that love it weren't born when the song came out.
Crazy.
It became the most streamed song on Spotify in the UK and the US. It reached 1 billion streams on Spotify. I think in the UK it got a record for taking the longest to reach number 1 from when it was released.
That's fun.
I think in the UK she was the oldest woman to ever hit the chart or hit number 1. It just got all of these awards. It hit number 3 on the Billboard chart in America, like 27 spots higher than it did originally in 1985.
That is crazy.
And she got millions and millions of dollars in revenue from it.
Thank goodness she agreed to it, because that's like the Reese's M&M's thing. Whoever had put their song into it, assuming it was like a good song, because the show is so evocative and so people feel so connected to it emotionally, like whatever song it would have been that they chose probably would have gotten some kind of boost.
Yeah.
So,
but it is one of those like it's like one of those you can't imagine another song.
Yeah, it just fits
perfectly.
perfectly.
It just fits so perfectly.
Yeah.
Time-wise, when it came out, is exactly when it would have what they would have been listening to. In a branding handshake along with that, you're listening to that song on a vintage Sony Walkman, a WM8 Walkman,
invented by my dad.
I forgot that. Invented by Mr. Pendon.
My Mr. Pendon invented the Walkman.
I forgot that. Bobo invented
The mocha.
Yet here you are doing a podcast at a kitchen.
Never saw a dime.
Never saw a dime.
Sure.
Of course, resale. I mean, they don't make those anymore. Vintage ones, all of a sudden, it was like vinyl records. All of a sudden, you probably could have bought that Walkman the week before Stranger Things for 99 cents, and now they're like $400 on eBay.
Mm-hmm.
So that was that with season 4.
Man.
Then just a few other things about the show. The logo, we talked about it. They very much tried to make it look like a Stephen King novel. It was based on designs by Richard Greenberg, who designed, he was a motion graphics designer. So he did the credits for like Alien and Superman and Goonies. So that was all with that. The theme song we talked a little bit about. They had used music from this band Survive. They brought those guys in to do the theme song and the score for the show. They ended up winning an Emmy for Outstanding Original Main Title Theme Music. And then the poster you talked about a little bit at the beginning. It wasn't completely based on Drew Struzan. Drew Struzan, I hope I'm saying his name right, is a really famous poster designer. He did like Star Wars posters.
I saw a video about him. He's really cool.
He has recently just passed away. I have a signed poster by him.
Wow.
I have a signed Back to the Future poster of his.
Oh my gosh. Storage.
I love that I'm bragging. Like his death is like, got it before he died. What a weird thing to like. That was such a weird way to do that.
You do like that, though.
He's passed, but I did get him to sign.
Good thing I slipped right in and got a cig.
But a lot of his, and what the Stranger Things ones are kind of like where you see like a pile of heads in the middle of the poster and then like moments around
and
them.
they look like they were almost like drawn with like colored pencil.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is so of the time.
Yes, yeah. And that's what a lot of people, there were so many things about Drew that I've seen recently after he passed, like people not realizing that his posters were painted. They all thought they were photographs.
Sure.
And he just hand paints all of that stuff. It's really mind-boggling.
So cool.
So then that's kind of the branding of the show. And then afterwards, we've had different things. We've had Stranger Things, The Experience, which has been in many cities around the world. We had a pop-up small version of it here at Americana that I went to. That one was mostly like Instagrammable photo ops, and you could buy like cereal where all the printing is upside down. They've had in LA during COVID in 2020, they had a drive-through experience where you couldn't get out of your car, but you could eat foods from the show.
Sure, yeah.
They have live stage things. Like I said, they've had escape rooms. It's just like it is a brand.
It's a Brandgasm.
It's like one of those things.
Yes.
It'll be curious to see now that the last season is playing, if that will continue or if that will kind of fizzle out. I'm sure there'll always be merch, but I don't know if there'll always be. Actually, here in LA, this Sunday, it will have happened already by the time you listen to this. They're doing something called One Last Ride, which is on Melrose between Vermont and Fairfax, which is a really long distance.
Okay, what is this?
It's a bike ride that you can either do the whole thing or join it at any point.
Okay.
There's stores along the way that are participating, and you can get like at Pink's, you can get like a Demogorgon dog and like different things.
You have to be on a bike?
You don't have to be on a bike. It's encouraged to be dressed up. I'll have to pull out my old
pull out your Barb costume.
I couldn't find it, or I would have worn it for the show. I'm kind of glad I couldn't find it then. And there's a bunch of collabs out now, like Gap, and right now it's kind of like, since it's the last season, everyone's doing like their last hurrah.
Sure.
Levi's doing stuff, JanSport bags. There's a bunch of stuff out there.
That is wild.
So, and then just endless collabs. I didn't even know if there's you can get Doritos, all the foods, everything, anything, really.
Anything. Google anything. Crocs, Stranger Things.
And just know when you buy it, Oprah gets
Pizza
$1
Hut,
of it.
Stranger Things.
Everyone's got money but us. We'll talk about it.
Everybody has money but you, spending the money on these foolish acts of folly. They're laughing all the way to the bank.
They really are. And I think that's it. I think that's Stranger Things. Yeah, that's the show. So now you've heard about it. Now you know about it. You stopped watching it. I encourage you to pick it back up because in my head, I thought I hated season 2.
Okay.
Turns out I didn't. The parts I hated about it were only an episode and a half, and I thought it was the whole thing.
Oh, okay.
I thought Barb was in all of season 1. She dies and she's
in it for like 2
in
minutes.
Episode 1 or 2, I think.
Yeah.
There's some flashbacks, but yeah, it's much better than I remember. And I'll be honest, like once you get to like season 3, the mall, there's more CGI in it, and it does. There's a little bit of like corniness to like seeing the demons and stuff, but it's still fun.
Yeah, it's fun, and I do, even though I crap on 11 and Scooty and how I don't like that they're all 45 now. Sure, I have so much respect for the craft and the vision of this show, and I loved the seasons that I watched. So yes, it's on brand for me.
It's on brand for me too. Obviously.
So
it's
fun.
a great show. I'm excited to starts the final journey. If you're invested in it, they're dropping season 5 in 3 volumes. They've got one for Thanksgiving, one for Christmas, and one for New Year. So that's how it'll all play out. By the end of the year, it'll all be done. We'll know everything that's happened.
Gobble, gobble. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone.
Gobble, gobble. Everybody have a great Thanksgiving. But before we go, we can't leave until we find out which turkeys are our Freaks of the Week.
I love that.
If you don't know how to become Freak of the Week, every Wednesday on our Instagram story, I post a little puzzle. And if you solve it, you can get your name added to the Wheel of Freaks. I spin that 5 times and pick 5 Freaks of the Week. And these are who those lucky people are today. We have Arabella Statura. We have Jack, we have Lindsay Webb, we have Samantha Cook, and we have Allie Lorraine. So thank you so much for playing the egg and for engaging with me online when I'm at home and I'm all alone and I'm just looking for a little bit of connection on this holiday season. I really appreciate it. And be sure to check out our Instagram to see all of our fun posts, our supplemental material, learn more behind the scenes about the shows that we talk about.
And while we're giving shout outs, I'm going to shout out every listener this Thanksgiving and say, we are so grateful for you. You are at the top of our gratitude list. Thank you for writing to Jon in bed. Thank you for playing the puzzle, for playing the egg, for writing to us, for connecting with us on Patreon. We're just so grateful for you, and we hope you have a very, very happy Thanksgiving.
And remember, we may go off topic, we may go long.
Sorry, Al.
Turkey. Let's see, the show's long, so I'm trying to think of how I can make this even longer. But whatever it is, just remember, we will always be on brand.
Gobble, gobble.
Gobble, gobble.